Cautious Hero is hilarious. That's it. That's the video. See you next time. See, the title of this video is nearly identical to that Konosuba video I did, and I made that same dumb joke, and as well, Kadokawa gave me a copyright strike on that video that I later defeated, and since they are the producers on both of those series, why not make this same dumb joke as I wait for them to try that shit again with this video, and what the hell am I even rambling on about for this? What am I even doing at this point? So, Cautious Hero is a series that I went into cautious, and I'm not trying to be clever with wordplay here, I simply was cautious. As anyone with a brain knows that trusting every isekai of the season is like going in raw on the first date. No bueno, that's risky. But the idea of a guy who's overpowered yet still treats his fights as if he was underleveled should provide for a few episodes of laughs at worst, right? What I quickly noticed was when I was watching week by week was in fact that it wasn't just a chuckle-worthy show. I was having laughs similar to Konosuba, one of my favorite comedy anime of all time, and that's when I realized that I was in for greatness, and boy did the humor live up to what I wanted all the way to the home stretch. Simplistic comedy can easily be the most effective way to get someone to laugh, but there needs to be proper setup in order for it to get those laughs that wake the neighbors. What this anime did and did very well was how the base of every joke was that Hsieh, our overpowered hero, would always be overly cautious. The setup would surround his new situation at hand, be it a monster to a general villager. We knew he was always going to be cautious, and that in result would probably allow for entertaining reactions, which if done correctly will leave us rolling. That for myself, they flawlessly nailed and had me pausing the episodes to catch my breath on more than one occasion, which almost never happens. You start off with essentially two focal characters, Hsieh and our main goddess Rista, who in many ways represents the viewers watching, well, minus the thirst that she has for Hsieh, or maybe that too fits your own mind, so no kink shaming here. Most of what Hsieh does or says should make you think what the hell is wrong with him, and she perfectly represents that role while also secretly craving those washboard abs. I love that whether Hsieh is worried about how much mana he'll have to use for his next attack despite having more mana than 1,000 men need combined, or he's concerned about receiving a gift from a child that he saved, or even arguing with a store clerk about if their wares will truly protect him, every cautious moment felt distinct despite appearing to be the same at surface level. If you were to grab a pen and paper, or I guess the modern term would be type out a list of as many anime moments that you could make a joke out of someone being overly cautious, it'd actually be pretty easy to land a dozen pages of situations if you've seen your fair share of anime, especially isekais. Most can explain how any isekai will play out because the majority follow the same template, with the only real difference being what color of hair the trope in question has. The difference is, can someone take said list and deliver comedy gold with it? But then you need to ask yourself, how would you make it even funnier with animation? Well, the project seen here explains how. Anime faces, fantastic comedic timing with punchlines to the jokes, and amazing responses from all of its characters. You start off with a goddess and a hero to then quickly introduce more and more characters for Hsieh to bounce off of, which was the key to this anime's success. It was around the point that I found myself noticing I wasn't laughing as hard as I did initially, and that's when the cast grew larger with each passing week. We saw new or familiar faces attach themselves to Hsieh's party. Hsieh himself stays pretty much the same all the way throughout the anime, of being overpowered yet always cautious, resulting in asshole timing where people are scared for their life and, well, he has to go work out some more before he feels comfortable attacking. But with each new face we meet, they haven't experienced his blunt force, meaning we witness a new joke surrounding the cautious persona while also seeing a new personality on the process, which made me laugh like a lunatic. It's very easy for comedy to grow stale, and you'd expect a cautious hero would be boring by the third episode, but with the typical isekai world where the fate of everyone's life is on the line, it honestly feels like the optimal setting for this gimmick. Sure, the real world could probably provide for a few funny moments surrounding someone like Hsieh, but in an isekai world, the one place most anime fans agree has more shitty content than amazing, you can bend, break, and slap tropes right out of existence. Hsieh is the trope destroyer, while Rista represents many of the viewer's thoughts while being funny all in the process. My favorite moment surrounding our hero is how even though he easily defeats enemies, even if they are dead, it's never good enough. A dead body could be revived, so he has to blast it with hellfire demon magic that makes everyone run in fear, and more often than not, leave them homeless, all for the caution. Rather than letting him be the hero, he is a man stuck in a world where he needs to make sure he survives to see another day, despite having the highest probability of survival with every situation we've seen thus far. In return, this lets him appear like a villain more often than not, or just just like a dick to many watching, which either way, it's always humorous. Though this doesn't mean you can't evolve his character without abandoning what made him great at the beginning, which is where Mosh and Lulu come in. Typically, when you see new party members, they are one note up until their big moment, usually some arcs later, especially in isekai series. They usually get off by having interesting personalities that, them not evolving over time, it doesn't hinder the series as long as the author came up with a good idea, or they ripped off another author's decent work. But Mosh and Lulu are pretty basic at the start, all things considered. But having our cautious hero refuse their helps shatters their world immediately, allowing for their additions to be anything less than exceptional. This is a man that when he grows accustomed to someone, he keeps them around by saying they're pack mules, or the goddess has hair that he needs to craft his next weapon. He will never say they're friends, rather, don't kill this girl because she needs to carry my shit, and that's hilariously absurd. Trying to imagine this series with a typical isekai formula, a scene where someone is on the verge of death would have the power of friendship save them all, or there'd be some hidden ability all along. But here, Hsieh may have skills and abilities we didn't know about, as well, he locks the goddess from reading his stats. But that never feels like an issue because he is the overpowered, cautious hero. Him one-upping every enemy is part of the joke. But when you see him say someone for reasons like, they need to carry my stuff, how can you not let out a laugh? It literally hurts to try to cover up my tears of laughter. But the main reason I rolled on the floor as much as I did was because, like with Konosuba, the art and animation direction was spot on for the style of anime that this was. Often you'll see people take screen caps of in-between frames meant to connect the main ones in a fluid way, which can look disgusting as still images, but were never meant to be shared as a keyframe. But even the main keyframes in a show like this can look below average. But in a comedy series like this, you don't want hyper-realistic or crisp character models. In any given episode, you will see the most outlandish reactions anime has seen in quite some time, and at certain points probably has never seen before. If every sequence before a joke was quite crisp and never had any flaws or inconsistencies, when the funny faces popped up, yes, they would probably get us to laugh, but with the number of styles to a reaction, at multiple points I think they'd feel jarring. So having what some may call average art allows for these humorous sequences to naturally mesh in with the mundane aspects to its world. That loose line works makes our eyes ready for more absurdity that the animation flawlessly nails in letting these characters rival Konosuba's body language, which is saying a hell of a lot. Animation is the biggest tool next to voice acting that the anime medium has to use in order to either give us an enjoyable experience with a source material or attempt to even surpass it. Having these characters be so ludicrous that you can't even begin to explain what certain characters look like at any given moment, which is a great sign that a ridiculous comedy anime excelled at what it aimed to be. A boring character not giving a shit about anything other than being overly prepared would grow stale quite fast. The number of people who commented on my reviews for Cautious Hero said as such, they were going to wait weeks from now to see if I still enjoyed it before watching, because in most authors and studios' hands, it would be good enough for probably an OVA at best. But because everyone had a memorable personality, them bouncing off of Hsieh let not only his character find meaning in this world, but also make every character feel impactful in some way, even if just to get shit on by Hsieh. I never found a single moment in its first season to be forgettable. Yes, I laughed less at certain points, but I still felt entertained by the absurdity at hand. And like with Konosuba, the voice actors perfectly captured these personalities, with both Hsieh and Rista stealing the show. Hsieh almost has one range that he works off of, and it's why his moments connected so much with me, is having someone so casually respond to everything someone says, and how he says things to others is always 10 out of 10. A monster can be staring you down and he runs away casually talking. A goddess can be yelling at you as if she is a ticking time bomb and you casually explain why you're ready to leave. I'd like to imagine that after recording a take, the actor let out a few laughs, because I doubt many could keep a straight face with some of these scenes unless you really were our cautious hero. Then backed by a goddess who ranges from casual romance to full-blown insanity, and somehow sounds completely natural all in the process that I'm left wondering how the hell did you come up with this vocal range. But like with Aqua from Konosuba, Rista has a voice that I would never want to hear recasted, meaning that these two alone makes it so my rewatches will always be in the Japanese dub, as even the side characters have their moments to really steal the show. This is a series where you can have interesting world building, such as weapons and power mechanics that intrigue me. I can learn about towns and rulers, or I can watch Hsieh slap the shit out of someone for trying to be a cliche hero. It just all worked for me. At some point, if you want to keep the story going, you generally have to do something more than just simple comedy scenes surrounding a cautious persona. But from what we've seen so far, most are going to be walking away discussing the humor, and that's not a bad thing, as majority of this anime is built on getting a laugh out of you, and it usually does so successfully. With how many tropes and cliches cliches I thought I see just getting shut down by Hsieh, it's worth recommending and hyping up for that reason alone. The fact that you can have sexual devils thirsting all over you, and you'll see a man not afraid of women, but just uninterested because sleeping with her won't get him prepared better than his bow training already has. So then you shift to an innocent mind terrified for his life, that makes me laugh just thinking about it. Or having a yandere-style goddess unhappy with your breakup despite never thinking you were in a relationship and you let others deal with the aftermath. Breaking your sword trainer to give up the sword because you are too much to handle. What even is this show? Everything I either like or hate about the isekai genre is seen in some way over these 12 episodes, be it a personality, plot device, or battle system. Yet the simple idea of shutting it down with an I don't give a shit attitude while he bounces between a hero and villain persona despite him thinking he just isn't prepared enough, so let's wait a bit while he trains some more, is some of the best laughs I've had in quite some time that raise the bar for what I need to see comedy anime do in the future if they want to compete with the level of humor I just fell in love with. As any time you make fun of or break down those copy and paste anime, you'll generally have hooked me. But make it this hilarious and I'll hype it up till the cops are called on me for shouting about anime too loud on a Friday night. Now for anyone who has any thoughts on Cautious Hero or this video, be sure to let me know yours down in the comment section below. Be it a favorite character, a joke, what even is that face, whatever you're feeling, do let me know. Remember to leave a like if you did enjoy, and be sure to subscribe if you have been new around here. Now lastly, there's always my Patreon for those who want to go the extra mile and help support what I do around here even more, but of course that is if you so wish. So until next time everyone, please take care, and have a good one.